Hey everybody, Keith Solis from Smooth R&B 105.7. It is Gospel Sunday TV. You've been hearing some commercials on Smooth R&B 105.7 talking about an incredible event coming with Apostle Renny McLean. He is with us now. Apostle, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank
Great
you.
to see you. Now tell us about this big event, this explosion of the supernatural.
Well, I tell you, October the 28th to the 31st, I believe there's going to be a supernatural manifestation of God's power and God's glory. You know, 2,000 years ago, Jerusalem was the place that everybody talked about, everybody wanted to get to. And that's because there's portals wherever God moves. And I believe that there is a portal that God is opening in Dallas, Texas. I don't believe it's by coincidence that so many, if you notice, businesses across America, they're all moving to to Texas, to Dallas, because there's something here that's not in any other place. So I believe in the spirit realm right now, we're seeing shifts and we're seeing movements. And so what's happening right now, the Lord put it on our heart to do a supernatural encounter.
Now let me ask you this, because we probably have folks who are listening, who are watching us right now, who have no idea what supernatural encounter means, who the outer realm, the inner realm, because these are some church words. And now, if you've been in church all your life, then you've heard these phrases. For the common man, for the common person who's probably never set foot in a church, what are you talking about? What is it? What does that mean?
I believe when a person is born, when a person comes into the earth, a man has these questions within him. Who am I? What am I? Where do I come from? God is the answer to all three. We're made in His image and in His likeness. You cannot define the word God without the word supernatural. So there's something in the spirit of man that desires the supernatural, that always desires the beyond. That would probably explain why a lot of people turn to drugs. It gets you on a high. But the secret of it is there is a high, but there's no high like the Most High.
There's a high that's higher than
There you go. There's a high, and there's none higher than Him. And so we always point people to God. We always let people know that God is relevant to every people, to every generation, no matter what's going on. We serve a right now God. And so what's happening today in religious circles is the I am of God is missing. And what people are hearing is the I was. And so we love to emphasize that Jesus said in His word, He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So you know that simply means if He healed blind Bartimaeus 2,000 years ago, He can heal today.
So if He did it before,
He will do it now.
Again.
Totally.
So now we're talking miracles. And you said that there will be an outpouring. You know, the supernatural. People will see miracles today, just as we were talking about that we saw and read about in the Bible. Can you give me an example, give somebody an example who, again, has no idea what you're talking about. But what you're talking about in terms of miracles, modern day miracles in 2015.
Okay. The simplest definition of a miracle is this. A miracle is a supernatural intervention. It's where God steps into the circumstances of man and overrides opposition to what they're going through in their life.
So, for example, you know, maybe you work for a company and they came in and said, you know what, we're cleaning house or we're shutting the doors and everybody's going to be fired by Friday. And then Friday comes and they call you into the office and goes, except for you.
That's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
Because a lot of times, you know, I mean, you hear miracle and you're thinking, you know, somebody's got to be brought back from the dead. And now that happens too.
Yes, it does happen.
But it could be, just like you said, just something that's going on in your life that it's going to take, you know, we've all been there. It's going to take Jesus to make this happen.
Amen. Oh, totally. Like what you just said there to me is so prophetic, because when you use the illustration of everybody being fired except that individual, that's a miracle of favor. And you can't buy favor. Favor right now will cause you to walk into a home and then drop the price just for you to be able to buy it. I've seen God do ridiculous things like that. I mean, we're talking about money coming out of nowhere, debts being canceled. That's a miracle. I think everybody would love their debts to be canceled.
Now talk about that, because you know we you know on Christian TV a lot. You know, we won't call any networks, but I went to the mailbox and there was a stack of $100 bills. Does that really happen?
Yeah, those things do happen. But this one of the things that I think needs to be understood. Faith is the currency of heaven. Just like how the dollar is our legal tender to trade and to work here. Faith is the currency of heaven. So in other words, nothing leaves heaven until heaven sees a currency that it recognizes. And so the Bible says all things are possible to them that what? Believe. So in other words, what you don't have money for, you got faith for. And the secret of it is that faith will always attract the supernatural. So when you say, do those things happen? They happen all the time. The most common miracle that happens every day in America is a miracle of provision. I'll prove it to you. Not everybody has cancer. Not everybody has cancer. But I tell you something though, everybody every day needs to eat. You check right now how many people will testify this to you. How many times they woke up, they didn't have anything to eat, and they don't understand how they got through the day. They found something. The most common miracle that God does is the miracle of provision. You eat every day. You're not sick every day. So it's interesting how people struggle to believe that God will provide. When that's the most common miracle he does every day.
And a lot of times you hear people say, well, God hasn't done anything for me. And it's just a simple thing. Because, he says in Matthew, look at the birds in the sky. I take care of them every day. They don't have to, you never see a bird complaining.
Oh, totally.
The bird always knows that I'm going to be taken care of. I always, tell people, give the example of my dog. I have a dog. And when I get home, when I walk in and I'm in his presence, he starts scratching on my leg.
He knows who
because
you are.
he knows that I'm going to give him a treat. I'm going to feed him. I'm going to give him water. I'm going to supply his needs.
Totally.
So if we as the children of God would start scratching on his leg when we get into his presence, then he will provide. And we don't have to worry about that.
Well, I tell you, that's so interesting you say that, because that's so powerful. You know what I love to tell people? When you come into God, I'm just going to surprise you when I say this. Do you know that when you come into God's presence, it's illegal to come into God's presence with everything you want God to do? Do you know the first priority when you come into the presence of God is you come in with your thanksgiving?
That's it.
Thanksgiving opens the door. So if you come into the presence of God and you present your shopping list and you've not acknowledged God, you're saying that your situations is greater than your God.
Going back to my puppy,
Totally.
when I come home, he goes ecstatic.
Totally.
He's just glad to see me.
Yes.
He's running around and flipping
Totally.
and stuff that we do in church. When we get in the presence of God, we run around, we turn flips, and we start screaming and saying all kind of crazy things. And then
we sure do.
We open up the door and the floodgates come in. God provides. Now tell us, because the thing's already started. The conference has already started. It's just, we're doing it now. But no, give us the dates again.
October the 28th to the 31st of October.
Where about?
Convention Center.
Irving Convention Center.
Dallas,
now you have
Texas.
Daytime events that people will need to pay to go to, but you have nighttime services that are absolutely free.
Yes. Now, can I just push this in here? We're living in a day and age today where people are used, I hate to say this, people are used to the superstar mentality. And when I say that they're used to the superstar mentality, in other words, they're looking for God to use a man, but they never envision themselves ever being used by God.
Wow.
And so, to me, the greatest compliment a preacher can get is not when he hears somebody gets blessed, is when he hears somebody says, what can I now do with it? And today we've heard the message of faith. The question is, are you working it?
That's it.
You've heard Jesus can heal. He's healed you. Can you now go out and lay hands on somebody? And so the school of the supernatural is where I can't express this, is where we teach people how to move in the supernatural. Because we answer mythologies that people have regarding faith and miracles. Is it, number one, is it a gift? Do you have to have a certain calling? All of these things that you and I in church would have known, what we were taught, well, you have to have a gift. Well, really? I thought that when God comes in you, he's the ability to do anything. But in the church mind, we say no. We say you would have a certain gift. So we remove every misnomer from people's minds. And I have found that wherever there's a question, faith is never free.
Wow.
And so we answer the questions that block people's faith in the school. So that's why we really encourage people to go online and register to come to the school.
All right.
Realize we're going to be changed. But the service, rmministries.com.
Because I've been seeing the billboards, by the way.
God bless you. Praise the Lord.
That's it right there. So thank you so much for being a part of this today. You've come to bless our viewers and listeners, but I'm blessed just sitting by you, and so I'm excited. Thank you,
Amen.
Apostle.
God bless you, my brother.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Thanks for
Amen.
stopping by. For
Thank
more
you.
information, check out the web address. You can check out our website as well at krnb.com. I'm Keith Solis on Gospel Sunday TV on Smooth R&B 105.7.